All right, so this is a suggestion via a donation. The name of the video is Bill Burr tells Tom Segura about a mushroom. Let's check it out.
How did you figure yourself out?
Mushrooms.
Really?
Yeah.
So do you endorse them for people? I should try them?
No.
Okay.
Because how the f do I know what it's going to do for you?
Okay, that's all right.
You might be one of those people in one of those high school film strips I used to watch who thinks they can fly and jumps off a building. I don't know.
Okay. So not like regular mushroom, not like shiitake or anything. It's, okay. The magic ones.
No, I just took some and, it got me in touch with why I became a comedian.
Okay.
Because I didn't have like a good trip. I didn't have a good trip, but in a good way. It let me know. It let me know why I always walked around saying I hate myself. I figured the whole.
You figured that out?
Figured it all out. I now know everything that I did, good or bad, my whole life. I know why I did it.
Bro, give us the secrets,
why
bro.
I drank the way I.
I definitely would like to have an explanation on how exactly this happened, or like a suggestion on how we all can actually find ourselves, but obviously not taking that very specific thing that he took, guys.
Did why it ended up getting out of control. I know the whole thing.
All from that trip?
Yeah.
And is it simple? Like, is it ultimately something you go?
It was mind blowing because it was right there, but because of pain and stuff, you just block it all out.
Pain.
And what I have found with a lot of things is a lot of things happen to you when you were a kid. So because of that kid perspective, and it was so huge, and it was a universe that they're like mountains to you in your head. And then when you finally cross the line, it's like stepping up onto a curb because it wasn't like a big deal. I've also learned too, like with your idea of your childhood and the adults in your life, their idea of your childhood, neither one of them is true. It's somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Where you were putting so much on it because your home life, that was your whole universe. And then they're out there working, doing whatever, or your teacher, who said whatever, was struggling to pay bills. Like to them, it was such a smaller thing. That's why when kids confront, it's like, I never did that. They don't even remember it.
Sure.
Not in a mean way. So I think that I was...
Yeah, I mean, think about it. Like the kids are there for the moment. They're in the actual moment, and those things are forming their overall like outlook on life, right? While the adults are there just living life, right? So yeah, I could imagine if a kid like 20 years later remembers something that absolutely happened in their life that formed like a very specific part of their life, speaking to one of their parents, and their parents like, bro, I don't even remember none of that because it was irrelevant to them. But in actuality, that is the thing that the kid is holding on to for the reasons why they are the way they are. Interesting, Bill Burr. Right? Maybe we should start, like as a culture, acknowledging what kids say. Right? This affects me because of this. And if we don't want our kids to turn into an absolute monster growing up, maybe we should pay attention to that one thing that absolutely affects them. Like I know a couple of years ago, I started actually acknowledging this theory for the most part, right? And like making sure I always say like sorry to my kids if anything ever happens. You get what I'm saying here? That may be like the smallest thing, but I think that is something that is extremely like important to a child, right? To understand, like, listen, I made this very specific mistake, and this was the outcome. The outcome is affecting you, so I want to apologize deeply to you, so you know that I respect you as a person, type of thing, right? Not just because you're smaller than me, I can just do whatever I want. No, right? I like the idea.
It was actually like, I think I put too much on a lot of things where they put maybe too little, whoever the people were in my life or whatever issue. And now being a parent, I get real, I think one of my strengths as a parent is remembering like what it was like to be a kid.
Yeah.
Because like my daughter was putting on something and she didn't want to wear it. And my wife was like, you're fine. And I said, well, that's a huge deal.
Yeah.
You can't go to school not liking what you're wearing because that's going to get in your head.
Because you remembered.
Well, that's going to get in your head. You're going to carry yourself a certain way, and that's going to attract the sharks. you gotta be going to school feeling good about yourself.
Yeah.
Right.
True.
Especially if you had orange hair and freckles.
Yeah.
You needed to have a vibe.
And do you feel like, that's a big deal. I think about that too sometimes, about when you put a lot on how you viewed things as a kid. Now with my own kids, where something will just happen, some interaction. I'll be like, oh, I wonder if this for him will be a bigger deal,
Right.
something that's
Yeah.
imprinted in his mind.
I think as long as your kid respects you but isn't afraid of you,
Yeah.
and if you actually say like, yeah, I shouldn't have done that, that's a big thing for them. Because like my kids are not afraid of me in a good way.
Yeah.
In a good way. Sometimes that backfires. Like, and I was saying, you can't do that. Okay, I told you not to do it, and you did it. And she goes, yeah, but Dad, it was funny. And I had to be like, all right, it was funny.
Right. But you shouldn't have done
As
that.
a comic, I gotta own up. It was
Yes.
funny. I go, but you shouldn't do it. So
Right.
I think she had a difficult time with the fact that
I mean, listen, guys, I know these two people here, Tom Segura and Bill Burr. I think they're about maybe 15 years older than me, right? But I think that their generation overall is a generation that has started this, in a sense, an avalanche, right? Of just respect for your overall offspring, like in a positive, healthy way, right? Not just, pounding the life out of them. You get what I'm saying here? I like that we're moving towards this. Yes, I understand that our children are, gosh, guys, we created Gen Z, right? We did that, all right? Us millennials, at least, guys, we absolutely did, bro. And their overall outlook and their dispositions and their softness, right, is because of us. I know that, and I definitely hope that this overall shift in parenting is not just going to make it worse, but I do think that because they're so absolutely horrific, I do think that the next generation after them will probably fix them, because they're going to see these people and they're going to be like, bro, are you telling me everything offends you? Everything. Every single thing on the planet offends you, bro? Okay, nah. Right? So hopefully the generation after, Generation Z will kind of fix that, guys. I hope, on everything that I love, I do hope that we can kind of course correct a little bit, but I do hope that the parenting style that is kind of the modern parenting style is not like affecting this process, guys.
I agreed that it was funny.
Yeah.
But I got a kick out of the fact I was like, oh, she was going for the joke.
Yeah, I know they go for jokes. They do. My 5-year-old, I yelled. I was like, no, I can't believe you fucking I screamed about something he threw on the ground, and then he came over and he goes, you don't yell at me like that. Talk to me normal. And I laughed so hard because I was so fired up. I was like, all right, man, sorry. He was like, I'm a kid. He talked normal to me, and I was like, all right, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Just lit me up.
Well, the thing is,
Oh God, guys. See, that has never happened to me, so I can't really give any real advice on that very specific thing. But I don't know if I would be able to respond nicely to that.
It's also
personally, guys. What?
I think they know when they should be yelled at.
Yeah, they do kind of.
They do, because I did. I remember,
Yeah.
my mom used to, she was the one that dealt out the punishment. She had a paddle and shit.
Mm-hmm.
I looked back, I was like I deserved every fucking one of those.
Yeah.
It was only one or two where, I got it because somebody else did something. I wasn't going to say anything. But I mean, for the most part, but I'm sure it went that way with some of my other siblings. So
Yeah.
It is
Right.
It is what it is.
But now you have you basically feel like you have full clarity on why you're a comedian. Whatever it is, you see it now.
Yeah. And it wasn't because I love comedy and I always related to comedy. That's what I thought it was. It wasn't.
No.
It was a very simple thing.
Yeah.
It was I was going to go on. It was the quickest way for me as a shy loner type person to go on into a room, get everybody to know me and like me, and then nobody hurts me.
Yeah.
It was just that. It was as simple as that. You're going to like me. Hey, he's a good guy. And then I can relax because I was sort of stuck in the flight mode, as most kids were of, I think, when I grew up. It was it was an interesting time. You just sent your kids outside, which you would never do. I mean, I live in a city, so I wouldn't do that. But back, living in the suburbs,
Yeah.
they just sent you outside, and then you ran into other kids. And if they were bigger kids, they would just do shit to you.
Yep.
break your
Yeah.
toys, beat you up, throw rocks at you,
Yep.
make you run as they shot bow and arrows at you. Remember the kid
Oh,
he used to make us run? He would shoot this fucking arrow up in the air, like a real arrow.
Yeah.
You'd get caught in the wind and you'd try to get out of the way.
Right.
And he'd be like, all right, you come back. Now you, get out there. And he would do it. It was just like his entertainment.
Nah, bro. That's nuts.
Just like that. I mean, that's how that whole, that F is for family thing came about. When I first told those stories on stage, people laughed. And then somewhere along the line, parenting changed. And those kids grew up and all those laughs turned into like, no.
Yeah.
Oh, and it was really frustrating. To get, I guess, emotionally supported as opposed to people laughing. So then I was just like, so I just sort of put them away, but I knew they were funny. And then, and I also knew that way of living didn't totally go away, that there's still kids doing shit to each other or whatever. And so that's why we
Terribly.
figured out, watching South Park. It's like, well, how far these guys are going. I'm going nowhere near this. I bet I can get away with these stories if I animate them. So that was the deal.
Hello, and thank you for watching that highlight. If you want to see more of those, we have them. They're provided for you. So enjoy. Just do a deep dive like you're trying to study us. Click on these.
I think I may actually. This is going to be the first one that we've actually checked out from, like Tom Segura's, podcast, guys. I think it's solid. If he's bringing guest ons and having like honest conversations with people, I think the overall premise of this podcast is absolutely amazing. I definitely should probably, do a deeper dive on it. Now, the overall talking point of this entire one here, guys, is great. I think it's honest, it's real, it's raw. It's just for the most part unfiltered in a way that the two guys are sitting here talking about, what it is to be a father, right? I would say that's probably a better title, more so than the title that's on this video here, guys. He only spoke about that for probably maybe 10 seconds, guys, right? It was more so about him and kind of the origins of the show F is for Family, along with him raising his daughter in this era and, attempting to change the style of parenting from, what he was raised with to what he would like to raise his kids with. I respect it thoroughly. I have kids and I understand these struggles here, guys. Treat them how you want to be treated, bro. That's it. You'll raise absolutely amazing kids, hopefully, because again, I'm still trying to figure out what happened to Gen Z. I know us millennials ruined them. I know that, guys. And again, all I can hope for is that the younger generation after them can fix the offense, the offendedness, basically, guys. All right, we need to calm down on that and get back to people being able to speak, for the most part, freely, as long as they're not, harming you. You get what I'm saying here, guys? But all right, listen. Let me know in the comments the next thing from Bill Burr or Tom Segura I should be checking out, and I will get into that as soon as I possibly can. All right? Listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day and enjoy your day thoroughly.